Coming up on Winning Bets, it's more Champions League bets. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode, the Wednesday edition here of our daily free sports talk show where we give away free sports bets. Before I give away today's Champions League bets, of course, we always got to do our usual housekeeping items where we recap the previous day. Only going to recap the NFL because our Champions League bets from yesterday are still in play due to that craziness in the PSG match. So let's just get into our NFL update where we went 2-1 and we put plus 0.71 units in your pocket. That's what I'm talking about right there. Just a good, solid day there last night in that Cowboys versus Ravens game. We hit Andy Dalton over 20.5 completions. That was really easy. It was nice to see the research not only pay off, but also easily pay off as he had 15 completions there in the first half. We also then hit our teaser parlay. We did Ravens minus 3.5. We parlayed that with under 59.5, and that was a nice, real easy cash. A little bit there in that first quarter, into that second quarter. I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely a little bit uncomfortable. There were a lot of points, being scored, but you could tell overall in that game though that eventually the Cowboys weren't going to be able to score, really anymore, the rest of that game. And the Ravens were obviously just going to continue running that ball and just in doing so, just running that clock. So I felt, even though it was a little uncomfortable in the beginning, I did feel overall good there that the under would cash. So that was real nice. Then our lone trip up of the day was Luke Wilson over 1.5 receptions. It just didn't quite come through for us. He caught his one and only pass on the second drive of the game, and then he didn't get a target the rest of the way. So just unfortunate that Lamar Jackson never looked his way. They obviously really didn't pass the ball much all night. They were having huge success on the ground. And who would blame them? They were absolutely just gashing the Cowboys all night for a really big gain. So that was unfortunate, though. We were right there. Like I said, got that nice early catch, but just couldn't quite catch one more for us. But overall, again, went 2-1 on the NFL day and plus 0.71 units. For our last piece of housekeeping update, before we go ahead and get you guys today's Champions League bets, we've got to update our NFL pick'em standings. Let's go ahead and do the straight group first, where I led the way with 13. Just a real good, solid week. My only two misses of the Seahawks and Steelers. Everyone else missed those same picks there, so that makes me feel a little bit better. Otherwise, just a good, solid week by everybody. Everybody got 11s or 10s otherwise. My good week, though, pulled me within one of the lead, so I'm just sitting right there behind S. Lowry and Kiss My Benz, ready to pounce when one of them guys, have a bad week. I'll vault right back up in the top of that leaderboard. But again, just a good, real solid weeks. Love to see everybody coming through with double digits. If we flip it over to the spread side, I led the way again with a 12. Another good, solid week. The Crew, he joined me in double digits. He came through with a 10, so a real nice, solid job by him. And then everybody else either had an 8 or a 7, so just a good, overall good week. But the Crew and I definitely led the way there with double digits. My big week got me right back up in the leaderboard. It vaulted me up over S. Lowry, so I retook the lead, and I'm up by 3 now in that spread competition. So, but overall, as we know, it's still super tight. 4 weeks to go. I'm definitely really eager to see how this thing's going to shake out and who's going to claim that $100 prize. All right, you do have an update there on the NFL Eliminator standings. We talked about it a little briefly there on Monday's show. I'm just going to go ahead and give each of the guys $25. So S. Lowry, the Crew, reach out to me, and I'll go ahead and get you guys $25 a piece. Just reach out to me on Twitter. I was going to do a 1 week, run off this weekend and let them each pick a game and see maybe who had the bigger margin, but then they may pick the same, and then, when does this cycle ever end? So we'll just go ahead and call that competition. Both of them got the farthest. They ended up tying on everything, so each of those guys will get $25. Congratulations. We will definitely come back with that next year and guarantee you 100% I really enjoyed that, and I guarantee even the stakes are even going to be higher next year. All right, let's get on into these Champions League. Before I give you the Champions League games, I want to kind of break down all 4 groups like we did on yesterday's show real quick and just kind of let you guys know where they are. So if you're thinking about placing bets that I don't give you on the show, you can at least get an understanding of what's going on. We start off in the first group here with the Bayern Munich group, Salzburg, Atletico, and Lokomotiv. Bayern has nothing to play for, so that kind of makes me a little bit nervous, not knowing what they're going to do in terms of lineup. Lokomotiv, they can secure Europa League with a win or a Salzburg draw and a Salzburg draw and loss. Salzburg and Atletico, they can both get into Champions League. Salzburg needs the win, and Atletico just needs the win or the draw to get into Champions League. The next group, Gladbach, Shakhtar, Inter, and Real. This is by far the most fascinating group going into the Matchday 6. All 4 teams can still reach the knockout phase of the Champions League. I can't recall the last time all 4 teams had a chance on the last match day to reach the knockout phase. Normally it's 2, obviously sometimes definitely a third can do it, but not all 4. So there's lots of scenarios in that group, obviously between Champions League, Europa League. Everybody just needs to be gunning for it. That's just going to be a fascinating group there here on this last match day. Over on the Manchester City group, Manchester City and Porto, they both have secured Champions League, and City has already secured first place. The only thing up in this group is Europa League, and it's between Olympiacos and Marseille. Olympiacos can secure Europa League with just equaling whatever Marseille does. So whatever they do, just equal them. Where Marseille, they need to do better than Olympiacos to get in the Europa League. And then the Liverpool group, Liverpool's already secured first place, and it just comes down to now who's going to be in Champions League with them and who's going to drop down to Europa League. It's between Atalanta and Ajax. These 2 clubs are actually going at each other again today, so it's really cool that the 2 clubs that are in play for that last Champions League spot are also in a head-to-head matchup today. Atalanta only needs to get a draw in that game, where Ajax needs to pull off the win to get into that Champions League game. All right, let's go ahead now and give you my best. I'm going to, admittedly, and you guys know it here, we've been struggling a little bit with soccer. We hit bets. We go, 2 for 3. Even one day we went 1 for 4. But we have legitimately, for whatever reason, been struggling with soccer. We're getting some really bad beats. I mean, just look yesterday in that Lazio game. They played 50 minutes with a man and a goal advantage and can't pull off the win for us. So it's just, results like that where I still feel good about all the bets. I like all the bets. We're just getting bad results. So it's just really unfortunate. So I think today's bets, when I made them, some of them are on research and some of them are just on gut. Just like looking at what needs to happen, knowing, potential lineups could be going and just being like, you know what, I feel like this is going to happen. Going 100% research based like I always do is obviously not working in terms of running into bad luck. So I thought I'd maybe change things up a little bit and just go off instinct and go off gut. So let's see if we can't have ourselves a day with using a different little method here. The first bet is going to be looking at Salzburg versus Atletico. This game was 3-2 in the reverse fixture. Salzburg has had both teams to score in all 5 of their games. Salzburg even put 3 goals past Bayern. Well, that's obviously really impressive. Salzburg has never drawn in a European home game against a Spanish opposition. I thought that stat was really interesting. And with this game, with this game at Salzburg, I absolutely love this bet given it's played at Salzburg. At Salzburg, Atletico, both teams to score. Parlay that with over 2.5 goals, and that comes in at minus 115 over at FanDuel. The next game we want to look at here is Manchester City versus Marseille. Gave you guys already the scenarios of what they need to do to progress up into Europa League. So I'm using my soccer system on this. What the hell, man? Manchester City, you won't find anybody on the pitch today for Manchester City that's going to be playing in that Manchester derby over the weekend. Nobody. He's going to rest every single player. Now, I understand that still means they got a really, really good lineup at Manchester City. Okay, so you're not going to get, let's say Sterling, and you're not going to get Mahrez, but you're going to get, Bernardo Silva. Or you're not going to get Jesus, but you're going to get Aguero. It's still going to be absolute studs on that lineup. But you know what? They don't need this. They're preparing for that Manchester derby where the other opposition, Marseille, they absolutely need this win to get up into Europa League. They're going to be playing their absolute A lineup. I don't care that this game's on the road. This one's a gut for me, so I'm going to use my soccer system. I'm going to go ahead and put a half unit on that Marseille win, and that's at plus 1050. So that'll net us 4.75 units. I'm going to go ahead and put a half unit on that draw at plus 480, and that'll net us 1.9 units. And both of those bets are made over at DraftKings. So just really good, outcomes here. We can win almost 5 units, almost 2 units. Obviously, this was definitely one of more of my gut plays today. But with City, just got the Manchester derby on the weekend. Don't really need this matchup where the opposition just absolutely has to have a result. I'm going to go ahead and use my soccer system. It's a gut play for me. Next one we're going to look at here is Olympiacos and Porto, the other matchup here in this game. We gave you the scenario about Olympiacos and what they needed to progress up into Europa League. Olympiacos is playing a home match today here against Porto. In their lifetime, they're 3-0 at home against Porto. It's just a real interesting stat. I expect, much like Manchester City, I expect Porto to field a really weaker side compared to Olympiacos. Olympiacos, has something to play for. They want to, obviously progress up into Europa League. They're going to have a really strong lineup playing at home, where Porto's got nothing to play for. They are the second team. They'll be headed in the knockout phase. So I'm expecting a weaker side against an absolute A lineup with Olympiacos. To me, it's Olympiacos on the money line, and that comes in at -115 over at FanDuel. And then the last matchup here is Ajax versus Atalanta. Again, the other matchup we talked about previously here in that Liverpool group, where these two teams are really going at it. We know what the result has to be for each of these teams, either make Champions League or Europa League. I like Ajax here at home. Ajax has been good throughout the years, pulling off upsets and putting in good results against Tottenham, putting in good results against Juventus and Real Madrid in previous years in the Champions League. They turn up for big-time games. So I like Ajax here in this matchup. Both of these clubs are struggling a little bit. They lost over the weekend, but Ajax is at home. They lost over the weekend because they were looking forward to this matchup. They want to come out, put in a good performance, and make sure they progress on into Europe. So I'm taking that Ajax on the money line at dog money, and that comes in at +115 over at FanDuel. All right, guys, those are the bets we'll roll with today. We'll roll out those 4 Champions League bets. We'll look to turn our fortunes here in soccer. Luckily, we've been doing really well in the NFL, and that's really been saving our bacon. But today's going to be the opposite. We're going to go ahead and flip the script on soccer, put some money in your pocket. So go ahead and get those bets in and join me. We'll recap it on tomorrow's show. And then, of course, we got Thursday Night Football bets on tomorrow's show. All right, guys, enjoy your Wednesday. I'm Jason Mattis. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.